Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Chris here, joined by Gutter. What's up, Gutter?
Hey, hey, what's up? What's up? This is Gutter. How you guys doing today? How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I stayed up late watching DJing plays last night. Our guest
Did
being one
you?
of those plays, and one of those plays, I tried to jump into one, and people were just faster than me. I don't know if they were using better tools or what.
What was that? What NFT project?
I try to get into the Omnibirds, and I just really
Oh
wanted
yeah.
that 0.025 to 0.03 buy-in, and I couldn't catch floor, man. Every time I try to buy one, it got scooped by somebody else, and by the time I could have probably bought one, it was like 0.045. But I was kind of hoping for like a quick flip. Like I wanted to buy in around 0.025 and sell around like 0.05, 0.06. So once it was like
Oh,
.045, I was like, eh.
sounds like you're embracing this whole DJing life, man. You're trying quick flips now, man. You're just trying to burn it
Yeah.
real fast. Quick
I
dumps.
actually I actually love that life. I just don't usually have enough ETH to play around with. Not that I really do right now, but I don't know, dude. Last night I was just feeling extra DJing. I was like, I almost bought. I'll show you on the show later. I almost bought. I don't know if you saw that beer thing. It was like box beer.
Yeah, Tom
Yeah,
Sachs
yeah, Saks
or the
beer.
Sack
Dude, I
Tom.
was
Yeah, that
this
was bad.
close. I was this close to buying some, and I'm so glad I didn't because it was like 0.005, and I was like, I'll just buy two and list it for like 0.01, maybe to hit that. And like right before I did that, I was like watching volume, and it kind of died out, and then just like volume just dissipated. Because at first it was kind of picking up steam. I think Sneaky Ninja bought a few, and I was like,
Of
okay,
course he
maybe to pick
did.
up, yeah. I was like, maybe to pick up a little bit more steam, and it was kind of selling fast, and then it just died, and nobody touched it.
Yeah, because it's trash, man.
Oh,
Straight
absolutely,
trash. It
absolute
almost
trash.
caught
Yeah,
me though. It
yeah. You
almost
almost got
caught me
in.
because I know Tom Sachs. He had the Rockets, and I was looking at it. Is this a new Tom Sachs nobody knows about? Then I saw the name is Sam Tax. It was some bullshit, man.
Oh,
It was straight trash,
complete
man.
DJ and play, dude. Complete DJ and play, which is like, well, I was like, whatever, I'll just do it. If I lose a little bit of ETH, I'll lose a little bit of ETH. But yeah, I ended up not going through with it.
Okay, but guess what? Today we got another special guest.
Heck
He's
yeah,
been
we
part of
do.
the show many, many, many times without actually being
Yeah,
part of the show.
yeah, he has been. I was joking around with Trevor about that. Like Griffden is on every show. He's just not, here. He's usually on the alerts because we always see him buying,
Every day.
selling, and minting. Very active
Every
trader.
day.
Very active
Every
trader.
day. So I'll especially bring him up. I got
Yeah,
the
let's go.
long run of applause going right here.
And
Where's he at?
woo!
Thank you, thank you.
Hey,
Good
hey,
to be here,
welcome, welcome,
guys.
welcome to the show.
Thank you,
You're
Gutter.
welcome. Yeah, it's good
What's
to
up,
see you
Griffin?
again, man.
It's good to see you, man. It was a pleasure being able to bump into you for a sec there in NFTLA. I wish we would have been able to chop it up in person a little bit more, but we'll do it next time at NFT NYC.
Heck
Oh
yeah, man.
yeah, I was so mad because you're big into Weather Report, and I have Weather Report as well, and I wanted to go to
Yeah.
Weatherfest, but I had to change my flight last minute, so I was really mad I missed that. I saw videos YG was there. It looked like it looked lit, man. It looked like a real Weatherfest. It was pretty cool from what
Yeah,
I
man.
saw.
They really did a good job for the first event. I think that's a part of a big part of that project is bringing that bridge right from Web 2 to Web 3. So they had the general admission with the token holders in the audience, and as token holders, we did get some benefits. But as a guy that's not even from LA, it was so fun to experience the LA rap culture and streetwear
Oh
culture,
yeah,
at an NFT
yeah.
event.
It's a big deal over there. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I'm pretty mad I missed it, but you said I don't know if you said it. There's another NYC one coming soon, or what?
Yeah, they're going to be doing one in NFT NYC for sure. I hope they do it a little bit more aligned with the other dates because it was much earlier, this LA one. But that's
Yeah,
going
it
to be a
was.
big part of their project is doing these Weatherfest multiple times a year. I think they're going to be basing around all those kind of NFT bigger conventions. So if you're a holder, you're going to get some benefits, and I'm looking forward to see what they do as the brand progresses.
Sweet.
All right, cool. Yeah, me
Yeah, man.
too. But before we get into all that, first we have to get to the general question. How did you get into NFTs?
Oh, great. No,
Is it
yeah,
NBA Top
I'd love to
Shot
talk
or
about this.
or something
Um,
different?
no, so at the beginning of the pandemic, I can start with that. I really got into technology and I started building gaming PCs and I started a little business doing
Mm.
that. But I'm sure, as you guys know, it became impossible to get graphics cards,
Mhm.
and that's the
Oh
bread and
yeah.
butter of a gaming PC. So I was lucky enough to find a local gaming PC community and find an IT job through that, and that was actually my first salary job. And it was a good opportunity, but it also allowed me a lot of free time at a desk. And I started to mine once I realized the opportunity with crypto there, and my older brother who was into DeFi got me into it, and I had all this, extra small amount of ETH, maybe point 0.1 a month or so, uh, coming in. But I wanted to do something with it, and I sucked at trading coins. Like, I don't know. I think
Mhm.
that's a general experience for a lot of NFT traders of
Yeah.
why we fall into this. And I started to see on crypto Twitter, which I was lucky to have known about through my brother, all these people trading apes for about an ETH. This was about a month after the apes dropped, and I was like, "What is this? I got to figure this out." And luckily, since I'd been in the space for a little bit of time, I stumbled across the Gutter Cat Gang, and
Nice. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Gang
think
gang.
I think I have that natural trader intuition where I saw the correlation between the apes and yes, gang, gang, man. I'm happy to see you still in the gutter. I'm no longer with it, but me and my brother, we first minted the Gutter Cat Gang as our first mint. Last
That's
second,
my first
as I
mint
went,
as well.
Awesome. It's a good one.
we were there, man. That's some
Yes, we
OG stuff
were.
now, and that was
Oh
a tough
yeah.
mint, especially as a new
Yeah, it
person. I
was.
was like running back to my desk after my brother called me, and I was at work, and we barely both got in. And from there, I started flipping kind of. I started with two gutter cats, and I saw the opportunity. When their floor raised like 3x to get myself into a rare gutter cat, and that was my main goal. I flipped up to three floor gutter cats at one point, and then I liquidated them all for one rare gutter cat, which is a 743. He's a pinky with the Hawaiian shirt and the cool bro glasses, which was just
Yeah, I
purchased
think I
by
know that
Rolling
one.
Loud. Yeah, Rolling Loud
Oh,
just bought
that
it.
one? That was
Yeah,
yours?
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
you fucked up on that one, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I guess so.
That,
It's a hard one,
that's
but
gutter, man. Yeah, that's a cool one. I like that one.
it's a sick one. The aesthetics on point, and I always wanted a pinky or an alien, and I wound up with him. And he changed my life. I gotta admit. I held him for a few months until the floor rose a bit more, and I got my first big sale, which was like 5 ETH or so, and or maybe 3.5 even. It was like 15 grand, so like half of my salary at the time, right? And I was
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
is nuts, man. Like, I can do this. And I didn't go full time. I started to continue to trade. I flipped a lot of the craniums. I flipped a number of other projects while I was still learning how to get through gas wars and all that. So like 4 or 5 months in after my first big sale, then I started trading big. And this was in August during like that first big pop. Like that was a ETH printer that whole month,
Mhm.
right? Like you threw
Yeah, it
ETH at
was. I
something and you'd
remember it.
make it, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember those days. Those were the good days, man.
Yeah, man. It was much easier, and I kind of feel for people that are getting into it now, but it's still a space where you have a lot of opportunity if you take your time and learn. I think that a lot of people don't understand that I took 5 to 6 months to really understand the space and be able to get to that point where I was flipping and being able to degen mint or mass mint things with some confidence or conviction, right? Um,
Hmm.
and I had the liquidity too. So we got into MVHQ then, and the end of August or early September, and I always tell people that's what really changed my life too. Right next to that big sale, I learned a lot of things that I had no idea about. I learned how to navigate a gas war. I learned how to use the small amounts of tools that we had at the time. Way before Ninjalerts and all these alert tools, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's just been full time since September, August in MBHQ, and I'm still a big member there, and they're a great community that has really helped me grow into the trader I am today. And yeah, man, we have just been flipping ever since. That's kind of my main bread and butter is quick flips. I have a few conviction plays here and there, but as you
Every
tell,
day, man.
you see me.
Every
Uh,
single day. Hold on. You need an air horn for that one, man. You need an air horn every day.
Let's
I
go.
see you on the charts. Every day when we do this show, because we have it up. Later we're gonna have it up. And we always see you. Every day.
I,
Good job, man. That's
I,
it's
I
very
got
good
it,
work you
man.
do.
I always tell people, like, as young guys like we are, man, we don't want to pass this opportunity up. We don't know when this
Mm-hmm.
could possibly end. So you got to get out there and kill it. And, I overlooked kind of my mental health there for a bit, and degen's a little too hard there for a few months, but it did help me grow the bag that I was able to, continue to make more and more ETH with. So sometimes you got to work head down, but never forget about your mental health or taking care of yourself, because that's something that I slacked off with and ignored. And I probably would have made better plays back then if I had just focused a little bit more on that. So we're
Such good
getting a little
advice,
bit
man.
better to, have
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah, that's the hardest part is work-life balance when it comes to degen plays. It's like 24 hours. You gotta get the next info, the next alpha.
Yeah.
What's this alpha group talking about? What's that alpha group talking about? Like what's Twitter talking about? Like it's a full-time thing when you're into the degen life. So I
Totally.
do have to commend it if you could find that balance. It's not easy. It's not
Yeah,
you're
I'm
gonna
lucky as
lose
a younger
something.
guy, as you guys are too. We're young and able to have a little bit more freedom. And like I said, I'm not going to pass this opportunity up.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And
it was like midnight or 1 a.m. last night, and I was on Ninjalerts, and I saw you messing around with some stuff. You jumped into those Omni birds, which I also
Yeah,
wanted to get in on. How did that go for you? What did you see in that?
it's good. The whole omni-chain narrative has been something that's been a pretty good play for me so far. I was a big mentor, not mentor, I mean a big secondary sweeper of the Ghostly Ghost.
Hmm.
And I learned about Layer Zero just a few weeks ago from my brother. So I understood how that would be a popular narrative that would pop into the scene at some point. And to be honest, I didn't understand like a lot of these other ones, like the tiny dinos and stuff like that. But I can see how people were able to take that narrative that Ghost produced with this Omni chain stuff and continue to push it. So with these birds, I saw the same opportunity possibly with the dinos. You can never say it's going to be the same, but you could see people thinking in that way and try to capitalize on it. And that's exactly what I did. I was able to know about them right before they started minting from a guy that I know from the space called Louis Knows on Twitter. I would definitely follow his wallet if you guys can. I think it's
Yeah,
just louisknows.eth. He's been doing really good on those
okay.
degen plays, and he warned me
I'm gonna
about
write
that.
that down. See, I was
Yeah,
actually, yeah, that's gonna be a follow-up question is,
yeah,
how you found out about it, because you're obviously like really early, and so
yeah,
that answers that. It's called Louis
yeah.
Knows.
I believe that's his ENS. Let me just confirm at the end of this, and I'll make sure to
Yeah,
send
yeah,
it over to
sure.
you. It could be a little bit different. That's his Twitter at least, but I was able to get on those and minted a ton on Avalanche and Phantom outside of buying some in the secondary on ETH, which is really
Okay.
the
Mm-hmm.
play that you really want to hop on, in my opinion, because there's so many people in the ETH NFT community that don't understand how to swap over to Phantom or Avalanche and go mint on those chains when it's exactly the same thing, or even
Or even
understand how to
Polygon.
transfer. And
Yeah.
even Polygon, yeah, they had them all. They had it on Phantom, Polygon, BSC, and an Arbitrum, I believe.
Okay, so I
Um,
didn't even know that. So, honestly,
Yeah, Omnichain.
I knew what OmniChain was, but like for instance, I bought Pirates in the Metaverse, like a week or two ago, and like they're actually going to like airdrop on different chains. Like they're going to airdrop on Flow and on Sol. So
oh yeah,
I didn't realize the mint itself was all three chains.
yeah, I think
So,
that's kind of like, we're so early with this narrative. That's kind of like the only thing that they use for the technology. And it's basically useless because, everyone in the end just swaps it over to ETH because
mhm.
that's where the majority of the volume is. But
Yeah.
it's still like a use case to kind of show it. And I was just thinking that up this morning as like shower thoughts of like, what are people going to do with this Omni chain stuff? Like, how are they going to make it so we can maybe have to send our NFTs to another chain and achieve an airdrop by only being able to pick it up from that chain.
Yeah.
So I'm
Mm.
interested to see where it goes for sure, man.
Do
And
you
You
I'm
ever
think
having fun
trade?
with
Omnichain
it.
would be the?
What's up, guys?
You got to get it.
No, I was gonna say, do you think Omnichain will be the next meta? Do you think it's
Oh
like is a
yeah, well, I mean,
viable
look what happened
contender
with
for
the
the next meta?
on-chain stuff. I mean, the on-chain stuff, it came booming onto the scene and was really popular, especially like the anonymize and the ether orcs. And some of those projects
Hmm.
have turned into really good, long-lasting projects that have made an impact on the history and the entire space as a whole. And I think that there's going to be some projects that end up doing that. And I'm really interested to see how they can and utilize this technology to bring something new, because I think that's the most important part about a project especially if it's going to be long term. They have to pioneer in the space.
I love it. Do you trade on other like chains at all, or just kind of
Yeah,
like when it comes to minting? Okay.
yeah. Actually, in December, when Avalanche was really starting to have its heyday, I started to trade, and I got a bunch of NFTs over there. I found what I think is like the first good profile picture project from the Avalanche network, which is the Avalanche Party Animals, which were already like a meme, kind of like a Wasi type mascot for the chain that this group took and then made a 10K PFP collection out of. And I'm holding on to a good amount of those because I see them being historical one day. And I
Sweet.
got them for so cheap. So I've dabbled, but it's nothing like Ethereum. And I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of volume and money
Yeah.
you can make is insane on ETH. So if
So
you can eat the gas.
Gutter always makes fun of me for this, but I actually like 2 weeks ago did air squats for a whitelist. And Gutter,
How did you do?
what I didn't
I was
tell you
popping
is
that back.
it's actually Avalanche. It's actually Avalanche. It's not ETH.
You
Okay.
did that for Avalanche?
So
Oh my god. Oh
that
my god. This just got worse. This just got worse. Air horn for that. This just got much worse. Oh
So
my god.
this will be my first ever non ETH NFT purchase. So yeah, I don't even know what to
Hey, good luck,
expect.
man. I hope it
Yeah.
goes well. I hope those booty pops are worth it. You know, you need to get the ooh sound. You know, for the
Oh
chain.
yeah. We just implemented all this. So
I
yeah,
love
I'm
it.
gonna get more sounds. Yeah, he was popping his back for some Avalanche NFT, man.
I've
That's
seen
just
Well,
crazier
okay,
gross.
stuff, man.
That's
so
gross.
I'm in a node project, and it's on Snow Trace. So I can actually sell my rewards for Avalanche. So like if the NFT space ever did well on AVAX, then like that's actually beneficial to me because I basically have an AVAX printer, similar to how you had like your ETH mining, back in the day where you made 0.1 a month. So I mean that'd be extremely beneficial to me if AVAX ever did really pop in the NFT space. But
I see. If we can go into that for a sec with the blockchain stuff, I really do see, at least for a while, there being a time when those side chains are going to pick up over the next couple of years, especially with the possibility that layer zero comes in and really makes it easier to swap between these chains. Because I think that's the biggest technical wall for people. So I think there's an opportunity for other chains to pick up, man. I mean, we just saw Solana go into OpenSea. I haven't really seen a lot of
Yeah, that was pretty
Solana hype,
big.
but
yeah,
Solana's kind of ass compared to these other,
yeah,
side
Yeah.
chains. So I can understand why.
yeah,
So
Yeah, it's a bunch of scammers in Solana, man. So we see you DJing a lot. We're gonna get to how do you go into choosing your projects that you DJing into. But what we want to know is what's up with these quack ducks.
oh yeah, for sure.
oh,
Like the whole
the
MVHQ is
Quackies.
in love with the quackies. What's going on with that?
Well, in MVHQ, we have this, running crew, I should say, at night called Night Crew, and that's been the move since back in August, in my opinion. Like, if you're gonna get into a cook with MVHQ, it's gonna be with Night Crew, like the DJ hours,
Okay.
And that was a
Yeah.
Night Crew play, where a lot of these guys found this project and saw the potential with the art and the memeability of ducks, which there is, Quack Quack, it's quacking
Yeah.
awesome,
Yeah, of
bro. Like,
course.
there's just endless like dad jokes they can pop with these things. And so there's a guy in our group called Grape Dutch. I don't know if that's a wallet that you guys follow. That's another really good
Yeah, I met Grape
trader.
Dutch in LA. Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
really great dude. He's somebody I've looked up to for a long time in the space. He has these crazy ballsy conviction plays, and the Quacks were one of them. It moved from a night crew degen play into them realizing, oh my god, like this project has a lot of potential. Maybe we should hold on to these, be a part of their community, help them become the project that it could be. Because they also spoke to the founder that night and really learned a lot about him and found out his dedication. He started this project months ago and just had awful marketing, put a ton
Yeah,
of
we
money,
saw.
like 70 to 100K in, and really struggled.
Mm,
But they saw the opportunity with these things being so low for a lot of people that are looking for a good community to come join, to get into. And not only have they become whales and big uh, you know pumpers or pushers of this project, right? There are a few people from MVHQ on the advisory team and marketing team, and are a part of this
mm.
project now. So there's some guys in there like Grape Dutch and Vesti that are on the team that I really believe in, and it's again moved from a degen play to a conviction play for me. I see them running up to at least maybe point 1, point 2 soon. They're already growing a really strong
Soon.
community. Soon, like in the next couple
Soon. It's
weeks.
point oh 0.05 right now. Oh, soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Dude,
I'm gonna hold
I've
you
been
to that,
I've been
man.
fighting the temptation like every night. I'm not gonna lie. I see a couple listed for like 0.045, 0.05 that I like. There's one that was like a red duck with like a beanie the other day that was at like floor, and I'm like this close to buying it, and I'm like, I'm gonna hold off.
No, they're doing good stuff. They even called me this morning to ask if, me as one of their biggest holders, if I could donate some quacks to people that they're coming onto the team, or having come onto the team, because they, are trying to build out this team, but just need like moderators and all the small kind of work, and they can just pay them in quacks. And as somebody
Hmm.
who wants to see that holder count grow and the dedication to the project and team, I'd be more than happy to support them in that way. So we're doing
So
stuff like that.
you're willing to let some go to
Oh
move
yeah,
up that unique holders?
I got so many at point oh 0.01, man. I mean, I'm already well into
Yeah.
profit now. They've gone up to point oh 0.07 before, but like I said, I'm still holding because I'm actually going out of town this weekend, so I wasn't really trying to trade them super hard. And I see a good run coming up for these Ducks because they're so low. They have a good team and a good community forming around them.
Are you
Uh,
just like thinking about other projects pushing soon? Are really either of you, or this goes for you too, like worried like with some of these bigger mints coming out, like Moonbirds, V Friends V2, and the Ape Land, that's going to like take liquidity away from the general market and like direct it towards those projects specifically? Like, does that have you worried at all for like degen
You know,
plays or any plays?
we were talking about this yesterday in MVHQ, and I thought that it would. We've seen that happen in the past, but somebody made a good point that I think could be the truth too, where we've already seen that. I think that we're already seeing a kind of like a liquidity drought right now, and it's from people holding back all their ETH currently. And I think that we're going to see a big boom in NFTs when this comes out, because I think that what Coinbase is going to do is they're going to be dropping their platform alongside with this with their
are you
partnership
sure
that they
about
have.
that? Is
I
that is
I
that
know
is that
that's
legit info
that's some
or
big
what's up?
no, it's speculation on my part, but you already
Okay.
seen that they're partnering with them for this launch.
I thought they
Um,
were doing a film or some trash like that.
they're doing that, but I still think that they're going to be doing their launch through Coinbase exclusively as a way
Okay.
to help onboard people into the NFT space alongside the biggest brand from the NFT space, which is Yuga and the Bored Apes.
Yeah, that is pretty big. If
Yeah.
Coinbase is gonna launch that, that would be huge.
Yeah,
But
so it could be Coinbase NFT, it could be Yuga Land, which is going to allow so many people and investors into the Yuga ecosystem. And let's see, where was I going? It's just that there's
Moonbirds
just
is
a
also
yeah,
another one
a
that's
Moonbirds.
coming
Like
through.
I feel like it's another catalyst. I mean, same thing with Azuki. I mean, we saw Azuki, rise in price crazily earlier this month, and that caused a huge volume pop, and there just wasn't a catalyst to make it continue. But I think that these are going to be multiple things coming out that are going to kind of help spread the liquidity. To be honest, I think we've already seen it kind of be held back.
Are you sure about that? Because I've seen it get held way worse than it has been so far. Because it's been like 1 week up, 1 week down, 1 week up, 1 week down. But we've been through a drought where it's like 2 months everything down for a while. You don't see that
Yeah.
downturn coming anytime soon.
No, I mean, also it's tax season, man. There's so many people getting their tax returns,
True.
which is always a huge catalyst for the, I'm sorry, crypto space as a whole. And I have so many friends that are waiting for their tax returns to get in and learn from me and learn the NFT space. And I see that as going to be a huge wave of new people, which is always a big volume pop in my eyes.
Are you gonna sell Quacks to all your friends for point 0.1 and point 0.2?
You gonna dump on your
Just
friends
I've
or
asking.
already
what?
I've already tried to get them all in. I just
Yeah,
recently started this alpha group for my buddies that are very new, and I was pushing on them. I was like, get in. Like if you can get in below point oh 0.05, I think it'll be a good flip for you guys to begin to build their bag.
cool.
So
So your
yeah,
conviction is that strong on the quacks?
I'm not giving up on them. Like I said, I know these guys are very good traders. They already have some experience running projects. Vesti is on the marketing team for the ETH Lizards. and
Oh,
he is a
okay, that's
major
cool.
part of why there's sent in my
Yeah.
eyes. He's done a really good job. He's another young guy with a great head on his shoulders, and I don't see them giving up. I mean, it's going to be maybe a longer road than I might expect, but I see them going to at least point one the next couple of weeks and starting to build that community. They're just in that point where they're trying to grab as many holders as they can because it started at 1,000 just a week ago, and we're already at 2,500 or 26. So it's
I joined the
growing.
Yeah.
Discord, so I usually only join Discords if I'm like really interested in buying in, and I've just been kind of lurking a little bit.
Nice.
So
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's
I
been
saw they gave.
lurking since 0.015.
Yeah, dude, I watch you guys, man. Or I
That
watched.
long.
I check Ninjalerts like late at night a lot, and I really like following like Metaverse HQ guys.
Mm.
And I saw Mitch like going hard at like 0.015 on the duck. I mean, like
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
on the ducks. And I was like, man, I should just buy one, you know. But then I think about it in terms of like a lot of you guys have a ton more ETH that you know you can afford just to lose, you know. And I'm still trying to
Sure.
like build my bag up, so I can't
Yeah.
always like verbatim just trust that, you know. So I always
Well,
try to
let's get
dig in a
into
little
that.
deeper.
That's actually something that I'm actually trying to improve, and I've gotten a lot better at. And it's gotten me, kind of a bad name to some people, kind of like Bonzi. I don't know if you guys know Bonzi, who's a notorious floor breaker, right?
See him
Uh,
on Ninjalerts, but I
there's a
don't know
lot
him.
of there's a lot of issues right now of projects, mooning for about 30 minutes and then completely dying and the pump's over, right? And in the past, I was an idiot and I wouldn't grab my liquidity back. But that's something that I've gotten a lot better at, which is a hard thing to do. Um, you got to cut losses. You got to grab the liquidity back. You don't want to just throw that thing in the hidden and forget about it. If you can get at least a quarter or even 10% of what you got or more, I think that's good because you'll be able to move that into the next thing. So that's something
So you
that
don't
people
have
got to
hope?
learn.
You don't always keep that one hope that it'll bounce back in the future?
I usually don't, man. The way that I work is out of sight, out of mind. Like I don't want it in my wallet anymore. If I'm out of the project, I don't want to pay attention to it. If I lost faith or some sort, and I'll move on to the next because I just always try to keep it eyes forward as we preach in MVHQ, and find that next project that I could make a bigger, flip on. Or if I lose conviction in something because I think the pump's done, I'm gonna try to get my liquidity back. Right? That's the best play in my mind.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the best traders we've spoken to, or I've spoken to just individually as well, know when to cut their losses. And as a whole, I see like Discords, I see Twitter, I see a lot of people, when people sell at a loss, they're like, oh, those people are like, not like, yeah, just in general, like people are so dumb for selling at a loss. I can't believe you bought for this and you're selling for this. But it's like they're getting some liquid back while you're probably going to be bag holding when it goes to zero, you know,
Yeah,
and
man. I've
people don't
I've
get that.
gotten so many pings lately. Like I'm pretty new to trying to get my liquidity back. Like I said, I was an idiot in the past, and when I would buy things, I would just fucking hold on to them and just wait. But you can't do that in this kind of market right now, I don't think. But I've gotten like tens of pings in the past couple of weeks from multiple discords of projects that like, oh, Griffden bricking the floor again, all this stuff, and it's like I don't even care, man. It doesn't even phase me. It kind of makes me laugh because, like you said, in the end, they could be the one that's making the bad decision by not grabbing their liquidity back, which is detrimental to some people. You got
I
to do that.
I actually had to last night pretty much do that. Not speaking badly about this project at all. I was just trying to get a quick flip, but I minted a Chibi's Friends, and it basically was going down pretty quickly, and then a majority of the people that are minting are actually just getting it for free, getting it airdropped from holding any of the Genesis collections. So there was like 30% allocated to be able to mint at like 0.05, and it started at like 0.09. There was like no sales at all and just crushed down. So, and that was before the holders even got theirs. So maybe it's going to be 0.1, 0.15, whatever. But I was just kind of like, you know what? I'm not going to risk it. You know, I'm in it for 0.05 and I sold for like 0.053. So I lost on gas. But
Damn,
yeah,
you bricked the floor like that?
I did. I did. But well, I mean, the floor at the time was like, actually, I think the floor at the time was 0.054. So I undercut it by 0.053. But
Jeez.
I got that liquid back because I was just like, you know what? I could buy a Quack right with, with that right now or something
Yeah,
like that, And
that's how you got to think in
it
this
kind of it
game.
kind of hurt, but
Yeah, the
It's the
floor is at
best.
0.07 now.
It was, yeah, it was 0.065 before we started stream, but it's still not a lot of volume. It was like, I think like 9.8. And another thing that I
Yeah,
know,
it's not
again, I'm not
much.
trying to trash the project. It was just things that were going through my head. I saw that some people that were sweeping floor were like part of the team, which was like great, that sweep your own floors, but it's like, I just don't know how long it's going to last. And it just wasn't a risk I'm willing to take. I hope that they're 0.1, 0.15 for everybody holding. Like, I don't, I don't hope that they crush, but just personally, I'm not invested enough into that project to like want to hold it or wait for reveal or wait for whatever. I was hoping that it would be a quick flip. It wasn't, so I cut my losses.
That's how you do it, man. Keep it eyes forward, right? Always another
Yeah,
Yeah.
opportunity.
for
Do
sure.
you have ever have a long term play? Like, is there any?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna
Um,
say blue chip that you hold that you want to wait a year, 2 years,
I don't
three
look that
years.
far
Like,
out
forget
in the
about it.
space. It's so new. Maybe for
Mhm.
like an ape or something like that. But I flipped my apes recently because I'm gonna go hard on the land sale, and I'd love to buy back in. But I just see more potential in the short term to take that land sale and just sweep the hell out of it, and make a lot of money, and then buy an ape again. Those are the only projects I can truly say I believe that long term. Um, I'm big on the Crocs. The Croc lips are one of the projects that I hold the most. I'm one of their biggest holders, and I've been big on them since day one because I followed their dev for a while. But conviction changes at you know sometimes like the drop of a hat, I could say, right? So you got to be able to make those second guesses and just reevaluate your position. Um, so things like that, weather report, I'm like the second biggest holder in, and that's a long-term project that
You're
I
the biggest
believe.
holder in a lot of projects, Griff. A
Yeah,
lot of projects.
I believe in that team. That is maybe one that I could say I'm like, it's not maybe the clearest conviction play to some people, but I'm long term on them. I think that they got fudded to the ground with everything at the beginning of
Hmm.
their project, and they're just waiting for their time to get some people to notice what they're doing, because like we were talking about with the Weatherfest earlier, that was a pretty unique experience that I think
Yeah, it
is
was.
a bit overlooked, but I think people are going to make note one day. So that's one that I'm long on, but I don't really like having my liquidity wrapped up in something like an ape. I think that I could, and I already have, sell my apes and make more with that liquidity and the amount of time that I'm holding them. I've got my ape coin out of it. I got all the other airdrops and stuff. There's no point to really hold on to those kinds of things in my mind unless you're a you know 5 million, $10 million liquid person. I'm getting there, but I'm not going to be able to make those kinds of conviction plays yet. It's just such a new space, man.
Yeah, and you're a good
When did you get
trader
into
at
the
the end of the day.
apes?
I got an ape 2 weeks before ApeCoin, and then I flipped it like a week or 2 weeks ago.
Did you know ApeCoin was coming?
I had an idea because it was written in their roadmap to drop by the end of Q1, and that was like
Okay.
the very end of Q1, and they had just bought the punks. So I don't know if you guys saw, like I actually bought a punk that night instead of an ape, which I'd always told
Really?
myself that I would buy an OG over a punk, but I just thought that the punks would move a lot more than the apes would based on that purchase, that announcement.
Hmm.
And it was the complete opposite. I'm sure you guys saw. Like the apes moved from
You saw.
70 to 80 overnight. So I woke up, I dumped my punk for a 2 ETH loss, and then I went and bought an ape at 80
Wow.
and got the ape coin drop like 2 weeks later. And that was about
Nice.
half of my liquidity that I put into the apes. And
Yeah.
then ETH started to rise as I bought, or after I bought the ape, and then I was able to flip it for a 20 ETH profit. So it was a good profit, and like I said, I'm just really gaming for that land sale.
Great
Uh,
example of cutting your losses and still using that to your success as well on that topic.
yeah, man, absolutely, that was a
What a
good
play.
play.
That's a great play, man.
Thanks.
So we usually look at, and Gutter, if you have any more questions, definitely could ask too. But we usually look at a couple projects like while on here,
Yeah,
and just kind of get your thoughts, your opinions, and everything. So I'll go ahead and pull that up soon. Of
Like,
course, I don't know if I said it at the beginning of the show, but of course this is brought to you by Ninja Alerts, just like the introduction said. And we are able to track smart wallets, or we're able to track smart money like Griffden, Wells, influencers directly, and get phone notifications when they mint, buy, or sell. And a lot of those people that we are tracking, we get the pleasure of interviewing on the show just to kind of get to know the inside minds of these
That's
traders.
right.
So thank you, Ninjalerts, for like making this possible, and thank you, Griffin, for attending today. What was
Air
Shout
horn
out
for
to
that.
Ninjalerts. Shout out to Trevor. Shout out to the whole
Yeah.
team there. You guys, I love the Ninjalerts. You know, they were partners with MBHQ and allowed Metaverse HQ members a whitelist pass when you guys originally launched. And it's been a great tool that I know a ton of people have really benefited from in the space. So shout out to Ninjalerts, man.
Sweet, man. Yeah, definitely
Nice.
shout out to
So
Trevor.
when you go into selecting a project to ape into, what are your criteria? Do you look into the team? Do you look into their roadmap? Like, what do you like? What boxes do you check
It's all
off?
about narrative for me, for the most part, like what the meta is at the moment, right? So
Hmm.
right now, anime projects are doing pretty well, but also
Yes.
just random crap. You know, if it's got a low mint count, it can be good, like these My Pet Ghosts or the Pet Rocks. Um, they're not something that I think any new trader would look at and be like, "Yep, that's going to be an NFT that does well." But as somebody who's grown in this space and understands that memes sell,
Mhm.
you got to be able to make those quick conviction plays to be like, oh, a pet rock, you know, all these idiots are going to go buy this because there's only 800 of them. And that's exactly what happened with those pet rocks. So uh, for those kinds of degen plays, it really doesn't matter about anything but the narrative. But when I want to
Mm.
go and ape into, say, a more conviction filled play, I absolutely look at team, dev, artist. Some of my best conviction type plays have been betting on an artist, like the Dower Darcells. You know, when I saw them,
Yep.
I
Mhm.
didn't really like them. I saw that they had some pretty good looking
Yeah,
art for
I lost
3D.
on that one.
Yeah, and I can understand it's a strange project, but I understood that it was like an older IP, which is very popular. That artist had worked with multiple big brands in the past, so he has those connections, and that kind of stuff gets people itching. They're like, "Oh shit, man, I don't want to miss on this if this goes." It creates a sense of FOMO in my eyes. So yeah, you're always looking for what's going to cause other people to FOMO, right? I mean, this whole game is the greater fool theory, right? What fool is going to buy my next
Mm.
piece of trash, essentially? Like,
So that's how you play. Okay.
yeah, man. I mean,
Okay.
I tweeted a while ago. You know, this is PvP. Like, as much as we can
Mm.
try to benefit our friends and help each other, this is player versus player. You know?
Makes sense.
Mm.
I do want to note real quick. Yesterday, I made a comment and it wasn't correct. It was about the. It's on my feed somewhere, but I didn't know if Ninja Alerts actually detected 1155 tokens, and they do. So just to clear that up, because we were looking
Yeah.
at we were looking at Me6, the NFT that they have, and I was
Mhm.
wondering if they just didn't pop up on Ninja Alerts, but I was trying to look for it right now, but I actually saw that Trevor did mint one last night. And, or he either meant to, yeah, he did mint one last night. It popped up on my feed. Here it is. So it does show these tokens, just to clarify that up. You know,
Nice. Yeah, that's really important. A lot of other, tracking wallet tools from the space have had an issue with that in the past, I believe, which 1155s are an NFT and used in some ways. It's not the, proper ERC 721 standard like we're used to, but it's good that you guys track that.
yeah. I again, I wasn't totally sure. I shouldn't have said anything, but yeah, this is definitely ERC 1155 token, and it did pop up on Ninja Alert, so that's awesome. And yeah, that's what we were interviewing Mitch yesterday,
Nice.
and he was saying the same thing, that a lot of times 1155s don't pop up on tools, and that can definitely hurt volume and traction, which could be one of the issues with this Mu 6. But yeah, just
I
clearing that up real
agree.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since you trade on narratives, have you ever manufactured any narratives or been involved in some, you know,
No.
manufacturing of some meme
No, I don't
narratives?
believe. That's always been something that I thought that I could do, but in the end, I want to keep trading, and I really want to keep dedicating my time elsewhere. So I've never like really kind of sat around and tried to create like a meme project or try to push like a narrative that I thought was interesting, other than maybe these like quacky ducks. Like
Yeah.
that's a meme that we're pushing. You know, you see me tweet Quack every day now. You look at my bio, it says Quack. It's just, you know, being a part of that community with all my friends in there and a meme that we're you know creating. Um, but that is the most important thing I think for a lot of projects that a lot of people overlook is that like what is going to make people FOMO? What's funny about it? What's going to make people, you know, not want to miss on this project? So I guess you could say I helped with the Omni chain one. I was like the biggest sweeper at the beginning of the Ghostly Ghost, and that's just because I understood that the on chain narrative was so strong in the past that I see the same thing happening for a while with Omni chain, and I was tweeting about it the whole night.
So I know we did talk about this earlier, but I didn't ask this question. But for the omni-chain projects, do you have success selling on other chains, or do you just kind of like
I
own
don't
them
even
now on those
try.
chains? I
From
was gonna
my
say you just
understanding,
kind of
it's
own them
pretty
now.
expensive. Like I haven't
Okay.
even brought my birds over from Avalanche and Phantom because I was reading that's like a whole avalanche to be able to transfer. So I'd have to be
Oh
willing to, you
wow.
know, put that into my profit equation. Uh,
Why is that? Because Avalanche fees are actually pretty cheap typically, but I guess that's different than a transaction. Well, that's obviously
The
different than a
bridge.
transaction. Yeah, the
that's
bridge
my
itself, I guess,
guess.
calls. Okay.
It's
Okay,
just
that makes
like
sense.
maybe since it's such a new piece of technology and smart contracts, maybe it's just a very expensive function for a contract to have to perform.
Okay,
Uh,
that makes sense. So I wonder
yeah.
if like that Pirates in the Metaverse I was talking about, it is omni-chain, but instead of that, I wonder if they're actually like minting it on the other two. I don't even remember what they're called right now. Soul. I guess it was Soul and Flow. I wonder if they're actually like minting it separate, or if they're
How
gonna bridge it as well.
I'm wondering
Sounds
how
like it's separate.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's not
that
separate.
Omni-chain could go across things that aren't Ethereum virtual machine compatible because Sol and Flow are not, you know, connected as in the way
Yeah,
that
so
Avalanche and all these other ones are.
that's probably my fault for considering an omni-chain. I was more so thinking like multi-chain. I don't know what term. I probably used the
Oh,
incorrect
you're
term
good.
for it, but
Multi-chain.
basically you're buying one NFT and you're getting it on 3 chains. So omni-chain would not be the correct term.
But
I
that's
just
still an
compared it to that.
interesting way that they're going. I haven't looked into those. I'd seen some people I know get into them, but never did.
They
But
got
yeah,
in
that
and
makes
got and they got
that
out.
what you said definitely makes sense because it's not even on the same it's not even on the same blockchain. So like yeah, what you said
But maybe
definitely makes
that's part
sense.
of why they were popular. People just don't understand 100% how Omni works, Omni chain
Yeah.
works, and they saw, oh, this is having stuff on other chains. Maybe this is going to fit the narrative. Um, but yeah, that's interesting. I think that it's going to be something that we're going to have to keep our eyes on for a while. I think the ETH dinos or the Omni dinos, like they're cool, I guess. I can understand how people are pushing them, but I really do want to see this, you know, potentially have some good art or, you know, an interesting part to their project other than the fact that it's Omni chain. Like
Yeah,
that's
that
just a
makes sense.
narrative to
Yeah.
push.
Yeah, this Dizzy, he's part of MVHQ, and he made a big bag of those dinos you talk about.
Oh, busy?
Yeah,
Busiest?
Dizzy.
Oh,
Yeah,
dizzy.
because I guess he bought a bunch of them on what's the other platform? I don't know what the other chain for very
Yeah,
very
one of
cheap,
the other ones.
and just
Yeah.
held it, and then it blew up
That's what
to
I'm doing
like
with these
good profit
Omnibirds.
numbers.
I missed the majority of the Omnibirds on ETH because they had a 2 wallet limit, and I had found out about it like last second. So I was only able to hop in on like a few wallets on ETH. But over on Avalanche, even after I had sent up to maybe 0.05 on ETH, they were still unminted. So you could just go over there and
Mm.
mint for like 3 cents a pop,
Wait,
you know, on
you can still
Avalanche.
mint right now,
No,
or
they're done. They're done now
oh,
for
okay,
sure.
okay.
But it was at a point there for a bit where these other chains were unsold, and I think that's I think I noted this earlier. A lot of people just don't understand how to, you know, get onto another chain when it's essentially the same thing, you know, just a
Yep.
little bit different.
Yeah, this might be a new trend coming with the Omni chain, man. Because it seems pretty cool. Because you could just have them all spread apart, and you could do some arbitrage with that as well. Because
Yeah, I
again,
think there
people
was
don't understand
people
the other.
doing some for sure.
Okay. So what else are you like looking at right now? You have any alpha, anything you're in the allow list for that
Yeah,
you can't wait for?
tomorrow, Shinsei Galverse. Have you guys seen that project at all? I think
Wait,
it has a
not
lot of potential.
Shisenke, right? Or
No, no,
this
not
the
Susunkei. It's called Shinsei Galverse. It's actually an anime project made by Japanese people. This girl, who
they actually by
it's
Japanese people
important,
this
man.
time?
That's important. No, there's a lot of people that really respect
Say they are?
that kind of stuff. Well, they say they are, but I think it's important for people that want to invest. Like, oh, this is a Japanese project. They're legit.
Mm,
That's a thought that
okay.
people have. So I think that's a strong narrative about them. But they have really great art. They're really passionate about it. I can tell. I actually did an interview with them for a Spaces on MVH from MVHQ. Um,
Really?
yeah, and it was really great to chat with this woman. She got into NFTs from her 8-year-old son, who has this little pixel project that blew up in Japan after Steve Aoki had bought one, right? And
Mm.
it wasn't a top signal actually. It actually boosted this kid's career a lot.
Oh, Steve Aoki.
Yeah, he
Steve
became
Aoki
like
wasn't a top signal for once.
yeah, he actually helped this kid's NFT career to grow a lot. So he actually ended up becoming like, all the kids that you'd like see on Ellen and stuff like that, talking about their successes and whatnot for Japan. Like he's like the kid that everyone knows has done crazy on NFTs in Japan. And he's only 8, and he even got signed
8 years
by
old.
8 years old. And he got into NFTs himself, from what I know. He like brought his mom in. So they got signed to the same anime studio that created Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, One Piece. All these legendary
Wow.
animes or mangas or whatever, and they're going to be producing an anime for him. But then his mom started working on the Shinsei Galverse, and the art for one is incredible. She did it alongside another artist. It really has this
Uh,
really cool '90s vibe,
how do
90s
you
anime vibe.
spell it? Let's
It's
pull that up.
Yeah.
Shinsei, I believe, and then Galvers.
Can you drop it in the chat
Absolutely,
better?
absolutely.
Or
Shinsei.
Griffin, yeah, either one. Just a link. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I'll link you their Twitter. Yeah, they have really
Is
impressed
there
me.
is there a public sell? Or is it
So tomorrow is their whitelist mint.
okay.
Here, let me send this in the Discord group chat. But after talking about them, their whole narrative is that they're going to be making an anime, and it's pretty funny. Instead of WAGMI, it's we are, or no, it is WAGMI, but instead of we are going to make it, it's we are going to make an anime. So it's WAGMI,
Oh my god.
Ah, that's funny.
WAGMA.
Wagmina?
Sorry, WAGMA up there at the left. You can see it. So um,
Oh man.
it's going to be maybe a longer play, but I think it's something that is going to have a lot of hype at the beginning. Because I mean, look at that art. I don't think we've seen anime art that really shows that old '90s anime
Yeah, yeah.
aesthetic,
Like Sailor
like
Moon?
Sailor
Akira,
Moon
Sailor
vibes.
Moon type vibe, right? Like, so I think it's got some legs, and I'm definitely going to be whitelist minting and scooping off the secondary.
Cool.
I see these as a good short-term play to flip, and also maybe a good one to, if you flip out, get back into, or even just conviction hold. I see these guys doing really well.
Sweet. Well, there's some
Yeah,
alpha for
but
sure for the viewers. Thank you.
yeah, this is I've never heard about this.
I
Nice.
haven't either.
Thank you for that, Griff. Round of
Of course,
applause for that. For that, we just got
got you.
some alpha. Nice.
Yeah, definitely check into
Yeah,
them if you guys haven't.
yeah, I'm definitely going to.
Same.
Do you know what mint price is for public?
I think I got that written down. Let me look. I got my whole little spreadsheet up right now. I don't have it, but I
What?
don't think it's expensive. Maybe 0.08 at most, maybe 0.06, 0.07. So, like a normal mint
Mm,
price.
how many monitors do you have? Like how's your setup? Like when you wake up
Oh
every
yeah.
morning, like what do you look at? What do you turn
Yeah, man.
on? Like how
So
does that
I
work?
I try to keep it organized. I have a bunch of spreadsheets that I have like my daily check-ins written down that I go through. So it's, check IC tools, check floor prices for projects I'm in, check the price of ETH, check the prices of the stock market, check the news, um, go through all my discords, make sure I'm up to date on all the whitelists that I'm going to have. I have a few assistants that get me whitelist, so I have to chat with them, and just go through like all those kinds of things to make sure I'm up to date on where I'm at, because it's a lot to kind of soak in all this information, which I've kind of struggled with at some points, especially with keeping up with the outside life, like we talked about with Balance earlier.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. I don't want to give up this opportunity. I love this space. I want to be in it someday as a builder. So I need to learn as much as I can. And yeah, I
Mhm.
got a big monitor where I split it into like 3 or 4 sometimes. And I have, my Twitter, my tweet deck. I got, whatever projects that I'm really, closely looking at, maybe once I'm trading. And then on the left side, I have a few monitors with like Icy, Moby, NFT nerds, just with all the information that I can kind of need. And then I have, my Ninjalerts page, kind of just showing all the wallets that I follow to make sure I, stay up to date, because you don't want to miss a Gary pump or something like that. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, you can't miss that. Yeah,
yeah, man.
that's
So as long
a.
as you can hop in, you're good.
So, who else do you follow in Ninja Alerts? Like who other than that Louis? I didn't write his
Yeah,
name down.
I can go through
The
some of my wallets,
Louis.
give you guys some alpha like that. I think that is a super important thing, when you're entering the space, is to kind of find those people. That's why I preach to every single person I talk to: get into Twitter, learn the space, learn the culture, and be able to follow trends. So, JJ Bang, I saw you guys follow
Of
him.
course.
Oh
He's
yeah, I
a
love
Yeah.
JJ,
legendary
man. He
MBHQ
he was
member.
on here last week, I think. Yeah, a week
Nice.
or two ago. Yeah,
You guys got it all stacked up when you guys went to NFTLA. I can tell. That's
yeah,
awesome. I need
yeah.
to I need to start watching these more. I'm sorry, I've just been so busy. You guys record these, by the way?
Yeah, it's gonna be on. It's actually
Yes.
on live on Twitter right now, and it'd be posted there, and then it'd be posted
Oh,
on
perfect.
YouTube as well. So, and
Yeah,
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 we
JJ was
basically
great,
talk
man.
about you every day, Griff. To be honest with you,
I'm
every
flattered.
day we just
Yeah,
oh, Grifton's buying this again, and he's buying this. Oh yeah, this is definitely a rug, and Grifton got 100 of them.
Yeah,
Like
dude.
how to
I get rugged sometimes, but that's kind of part of my strategy. I like to shoot my shot on a lot of things. Sometimes it's a spray and pray, but it's a lot of, narrative driven. Like, I think this is the possibility.
Yeah, I
I like
noticed
it, man.
you're deep into narratives. I kind of you said that quite a few times, and
It's
I'm
it's a
starting to
it's
get
my
that.
buzzword, man. It's like my favorite buzzword, right next to community, and now Omni chain.
And
So yeah, got JJ, Saint. He's another great trader
Yeah, I
out of
heard about Saint as
MBHQ.
well.
All the classics: 888, Vincent Van Doe, Shamdu, Satoshi's mom, another good MBHQ trader.
Mm.
The Mick Puss, he's a guy from MBHQ who I've seen doing really well recently. Um, Vopa, Psyduck, Grape Dutch, Jake and Bake, NFT Relic Hunter. All these people are a lot of MVHQers.
heck yeah, man. I follow some of them, but I'll go back and watch this later and go follow the rest. I know 888
Yeah,
has
I could
has a
link
little
my
bit.
wallet page to you,
Oh
actually.
yeah, that'd be great. I know
Yeah.
888 has a little bit expensive taste for me. Every time he apes into a project, it's like a 1 ETH or over project. I feel I see him on my
But
feed, and it's like, oh, we just bought 10 of these at 1 ETH.
he used to be such a big call sign. Like, he used to have that Gary V kind of momentum to push a project. No longer. I think Gary is really only like the only
Yeah.
celebrity I can be like, okay, I'm gonna buy this when I see Gary buy it, because it's gonna pump. Right? Like, he's like
Yeah.
he's a buy sign. So 888, I followed him actually into Los Muertos recently, and I did really well with those. He's one of the bigger
Yeah.
holders there, and I saw him aping really big on their larger, more expensive NFTs. So I didn't think that he's a part of the reason why I did well, but he got me to look into the project, which is what I use a lot of my alerts for. It's not just to follow people that are gonna have other people follow them, but it's to make me realize, oh, why are they looking at this? Why are they buying
Yeah,
this? Should I be buying this? So
yeah. I do
yeah, I
want to
mean, I
take.
could go
And
on
it
forever about this list. There's so many.
I love it.
and if the narrative is right, you hop on.
Yeah,
That's how you go
absolutely.
about.
Like, if one thing I gotta admit, I've had a tougher time in this past week. I think it's because my head has been a lot of places while I'm getting ready to go out of town. Um, and it's because the narrative is also strange right now. There's like the anime one, well, also just the
Mhm.
buy. random shit, narrative. And you could buy random shit and it could completely get stifled by something that gets minted in the next 15 minutes after it. Pumps can last 15 to 30 minutes at most right now for the most part. So something I'm trying to get better at is, going to look at NFT nerds, IC Tools Premium, and watching that chart and being like, okay, it's already gone 2-3x from here, or oh, this is a free mint that people got for $1, $3 a mint. It's already at 0.01. That's a 10x for them. Even though that's cheap, it's
Mhm.
changed. That used to, be like the starting price for a free mint. Things are, so cheap now on the blockchain with the ERC 721A that they're able to get their flips in for a much smaller amount, but it's still a good, multiplier to their money. So I'm starting to get a little bit better at looking at stuff like that because I've aped into things recently where I thought it had a little bit more legs in it and it didn't,
Did
even
you
after
watch
you catch it.
did you watch that? It was like right before you aped into the Omnibirds, the Sox beer last night. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did.
S-
That
some
was an
tax or some
example.
shit like
Yeah,
that.
I was like, man, this is a decent play that I kind of want to hop on, and I almost did, but decided not to, and like volume just died immediately, and it never came back to life.
Yeah, it's
It
trash.
sucks because it's like that actually looked kind of cool. Like this person went out and did some fake Tom Sack stuff. Like it,
Yeah, see, that's the point. Right? The fake Tom Sack stuff, man. You can't do that. Like,
whatever. I mean,
that's
it
happening.
kind of it runs along with that. Like, dude, what was that not Banksy stuff that went up to 1.5 this
Yeah,
week?
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
obviously a fake, and it got pumped to oblivion. I mean, it's
yeah.
just insane. So it's that kind of stuff that I don't like it. I just think that it's cool in the way that it's got a narrative that could run with, but obviously it didn't, and it got stifled by Omnibirds and other things like that.
It did. Yeah, it immediately went from that to Omnibirds. I saw, and one thing I noticed Sneaky Ninja Pants doing that was smart is he would
Uh,
buy these like packages, like or whatever they're called, these group bundles, uh,
yeah,
when it was really cheap, and then he would sell them off as the price goes up, profit, move on to the next thing. That's exactly what he did last night. He with the sacks that we are just talking about beer. He bought a bundle for like 10 of them or something when they were like point oh oh whatever, like two or something, and they sold them all for like a 2-3x. But he got
nice.
a good deal on that bundle, and then as price went up, he sold that, and then he went straight to the Omnibirds.
Yeah, man. I think that Sneaky is one of the greatest teachers I've had in the space just by being able to watch his wallet. I mean, I had the opportunity to meet him and talk with him through MVHQ. Whenever he does come up and talk, he's a bit quiet. Uh, Dude's always doing something, Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but that's something that I've gotten a bit better at, and I've slacked off a bit this week. I think just because I don't know, man. I've just been like tired and out of it a bit. But those quick flips, like buying something and immediately listing it for the price, because it's like you always have to go into it with an idea, with a game plan, and you want to stick to that. You know, at least get your money
what's
back.
Absolutely.
your average game plan? How long do you usually hold? Like
If
when
I
you
look at
look at
something,
something,
yeah,
yeah.
if I look at something when it's like point oh 0.01 and it may be sold out, at 0.005 or whatever the hell, if it was like an 800 count one of those super cheap ones, I'll probably hop in and be like, okay, I'm gonna get out around point oh 0.03 or so because that's after gas, or maybe point oh 0.03, point oh 0.04 because you got to take in gas and the royalties. So I like to at least get a 2-3x on things, and I think that's the benefit that we have from being in the NFT space. Where else are you gonna see that in
Yeah.
5 minutes in
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
trading space?
In 5 minutes.
But then again,
Yeah.
it's like you don't know. I always try to follow volume. Things can pick up. I'm glad I didn't sell the ghost super early because that's exactly what happened. Like I started eating them up, and then I think that every other trading group that saw it and realized the narrative it had started to do the exact same thing, and it just had that monster pump up to an ETH in like an hour and a half.
Mm,
So it's like it can
jeez.
switch because like I went into that thinking, oh, I'm gonna flip these at double, triple, and then I just kind of just watched it.
Are you watching volume on OpenSea or are you watching it through a tool?
Oh yeah, on a tool.
Okay.
NFTnerds.ai
Okay.
is probably my favorite. Are you guys familiar?
I'm familiar with it, but
Yeah.
I'm not currently using it, but
I'd
I need to.
suggest it. If you can afford it and you're a trader daily or even just a couple days of the week, it's going to change your life. I mean, we always talk about it in BHQ. The way that they've been able to build that tool out is gives you a great benefit over the other traders that don't have it.
Have you ever heard of alpha sharks?
Yeah, I actually had a whitelist mint for that and I missed. So I bought a couple and I flipped them, but I never used the tool. I already had
Mm.
NFT nerds, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing from what I know.
It's from what I hear, it's pretty much the same thing, just different
Yeah,
a little features here and there, but it's pretty much the same.
yeah. The tools have been such a big help, but they're becoming less and less of a help now that everybody else is getting into them, and that's just the way that the
Yeah.
cookie crumbles, right? So,
Yeah, so we have a question from Adil. What's your
yeah.
thoughts on imposters? Are you familiar with that NFT
Yeah,
project?
I am. I actually have a lot of friends in them, and sadly, I never got in because it came out during NFTLA, and I was just like off the PC for the entire week there. And it's one that I kind of regret missing. But I have a lot of friends that are really long-term bullish, and even that guy Bonzi, which I spoke about earlier, he's a pretty big NFT
The
whale.
floor breaker?
Pretty good. He's a pretty good flipper, but he's also a floor bricker. Like every time I've seen people talk about him in discords, it's the same thing people say about me. Um, but yeah, I think that they have a strong narrative. They have a lot of big whales and people that are pushing them, like Keyboard Monkey. Um, and personally, I don't like the look of them. It's just a copy pasta of Among Us, but that could still go a lot further, especially with their staking. From what I understand, their staking looks like it's a really good way to get people to stake, create a supply shock, and send that price, which is exactly what happened with Creeps. It went from an ETH
Mm,
to 12 ETH floor or something in like a month.
mm,
Makes sense.
So as long as it keeps attention, keeps hype, volume comes back, I don't doubt in my mind at all that imposters could go up. I've actually been looking to possibly get into them because I'm trying to rotate a little bit more into those kinds of conviction plays. I'm not one to really want to throw up that amount of ETH, and I like to buy a lot when I buy. So if I was to buy them, I'd probably buy 10. That's like 20 ETH. But I'm just looking for the continuation of the hype. You know, I see
mm.
people talking about it right now. I see my friends really bullish on them still. I just want to see a bit more on Twitter or something before I hop in.
Super fair. I've been
Okay.
wanting to point out too. This interface looks a lot better. Like that, you can see how many they minted and what they spent directly from
Yeah,
this
I just
page.
noticed that.
That's a nice
Yeah,
update.
I literally last night refreshed my page and then saw that, and I was like, dude, this is so helpful because it not that it was like hard, but used to like if you would kind of you wouldn't see how many and you wouldn't see exact you would I think you'd see the price, but you would have to go in and look on Etherscan. But right now you can see it all from just this screen and it's all color coded. That looks really nice. Shout out to you, Trevor, or whoever did
For
that.
sure. Yeah, those
It's
kinds of
so
things
Sahun, I
nice.
are
believe.
maybe overlooked,
Yeah, yeah,
but
probably.
those kinds of things that give you that extra couple seconds where you don't have to do that research, you can just do it at a glance. It really helps in this
Hmm.
space. Like sometimes you just got to make those quick 30-second conviction moves or whatever. That's exactly what happened with the ghost for me.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted last night with the Omni birds. Again, just kind of seeing you and a couple other people go in, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. But I ended up not being able to buy at the price I wanted. I really wanted that. I was telling Gutter this before that like 0.025 that you got in at originally, or like the 0.03. And by the time like I actually was able to go through with a buy, it was like 0.045, and I was like, I'm just I'm
Check
kind of
another
out now.
chain.
I didn't think about that at the time. I was just it was
Yeah,
Oh,
late. It
okay.
was
but
late, and I was just looking at it on here.
you do absolutely have to take into account the amount of money you have to, transfer with, which right now is like I understand like 1.25 AVAX, which is $100 or so, or point oh
Mm.
0.03 or whatever. So you gotta put that into your profit, um, or your equation for that.
All right, so we just have two more questions from you.
Sure.
One from Adil and one from the Kansas. The Adil one is up right now. What's your thoughts
Yeah.
on three lenders? I believe that is
Yeah.
three lenders, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you own a bunch of those.
Yeah, I actually that's the one that's one of the projects that I've gone into recently with a strong conviction that I sadly missed again when I was taking a short break from NFTs when they launched. and I've had my eyes on them since. They have a fantastic art, which is a world that was created before the NFT was created. It's a couple years old. Artist is pretty popular, it seems, and the other CEO or the COO of the project has some connections to like streetwear, and he's just like a young entrepreneur, which I have a lot of respect for. So yeah, they have great art, a great community forming behind them. What really interested me too was their inventory drop. Have you guys looked into that or heard about it? It was their first airdrop.
No. Oh, that's something about a box. I heard about it in NFC LA, but I didn't look into
Yeah,
it. It was just
it's
a random box, right?
yeah, it is, but they've kind of explained and basically told us now what it is,
Mm.
and it's essentially going to be for their land, which I think is maybe going to be kind of like a game or something, maybe like Cool Pets, where
Don't
each.
mention cool pets, man. Don't do
Well,
that.
that's unfortunate, right? I feel for Klon. I met him at NFT Leg. Great
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he is.
Great
He's pretty cool.
IP. I think that they're gonna pull it out eventually. But
He told
anyway,
me they are.
yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt in my mind. I got a cool cat while I was out there because I'm ready for that pump. Um,
Mm.
but the three landers, man, like I said, strong community with this whole possible metaverse or game coming, where the inventory, which was airdropped, is going to be used, and you have to burn it to receive your land or whatever you need to be able to play this game or be in the metaverse, which in my mind is the better play. Like if you're going to be able to get the deflationary asset for the ecosystem, stack up on those. You saw what happened with the gutter juices. You saw what happened with the Clone X files. All these deflationary assets, which benefit holders of the project, are overlooked a ton of the time, right? And if you can stack those instead of just the PFP or the main part of the project, I think you're going to do very well when those become a part of the play or the project starts to gain some more success because they're going to deflate. They're going to grow and value exponentially over time, most likely. So I'm very bullish on
What's
them.
the floor on the crates right now? Do you remember?
About 2.23. I've been consuming them over the
Oh, that's
past
not
couple
bad.
days. Yeah, I'm trying to get two for every single one that I buy right now, and then probably just keep stacking them and stacking them. I'm trying to flip things and put a little bit into stuff like that over time because I think they're in the next bull run. Three landers are going to get their recognition.
Mm. Yeah, and we just had one more question.
Yeah.
Now that allow lists are the new meta, do you use any a tool like premint.xyz, or
Yeah,
do you
I
got the
picked up a
pass?
pre-mint pass like a week ago. I was a bit late on that one too, but I still got in it way before the price that it's at now. Thank God. I personally, I don't like them, man. Like I'm gonna buy them so
You
I can
don't?
use it. I think it's a cool thing, but it's so overvalued. I mean, for what it's gonna give you, 1.5 ETH is not worth just being able to see the projects that they're just partnered with on a dashboard. You know? I don't know. I mean, I have
Mm.
enough, ways to find projects from the alpha groups that I'm in already that I'd rather spend my time there and see what's on their list than what they have curated from their partners. I think it's a good idea, but it it really cuts out the little guys. Like, yeah, we hated the whitelist grind and everything, but that gave so much opportunity to people starting out where they could put their time in and not spend money. Where
Like
just people
Chris.
like me, I can just go and
Yeah, like
buy a
me.
premium pass, no problem. Which is like it's just money gating essentially these people from making more money. Like it just gives people like me the ability to be able to buy a bunch of premium passes and then have the opportunity to make more money over these guys.
That's
So
a
Oh,
really
it's
good point,
crazy.
man.
It's
yeah.
crazy you see it like that, being from a position that of somebody that has more money.
I just don't see it as
So
like
so
long
you want it to be
term
more fair to
sustainable.
the small guys?
Well, I thought that the whole allow list stuff was beneficial for projects in the end, where they had to grind, right? Because it sometimes did form that strong community for a project at the beginning. Now you can just go and buy a premium pass for some and get it, or you get the
Mm.
opportunity to win one, where it's completely cutting out their opportunity, especially to start. I mean, we need new people coming into the space. I don't want it to just be everyone like us that knows what the hell is going on. I want it to be new people that can buy my
That's
bags,
true.
but also
Yeah.
good new people that I can eventually learn from, learn to follow their wallets. I mean, it's just we need the flippers, we need the new people, and it's just
Yeah.
another way that kind of keeps them out.
Great
So
point, man. On the you said you already have alpha groups for that, so like the obvious like Metaverse HQ, of course. Any
yeah,
other ones that you'd recommend?
Origins. I got into them recently. There's a lot of MVHQers over there. JJ, who was an admin at MVHQ, is now an admin over there, and
Really?
they're a little bit different. MVHQ, in my mind, is such an amazing community that you can learn a lot from, and the amount of partnerships that they have and allow this opportunities is insane. Like, I want to allow this recently for Sneaky's internet friend, Sneaky Ninja's new project.
Sniff.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just right there, that whitelist paid for my token if I was
yeah,
a new person that just bought in and won that raffle, just like that. And the amount of other whitelists that I've won from being in Metaverse HQ is invaluable.
yeah. Makes sense.
And it's going to keep going. They do a really good job at building their brand and making those connections. Origins is a little bit more uh, hands-on with tools. They have a few tools within their Discord that you can utilize and also use as a holder. And they're starting to get better at that. So it's kind of nice to have both ends. I have a few other like smaller group chats that I'm in that aren't really like token gated alpha groups. So I couldn't really recommend any other ones of those. It's hard enough to keep up with the other two,
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
cool, man. Thank
Yeah.
you for the
So
info.
yeah, thank you. We're pretty much wow. We're over our time schedule. So Chris, do you have any more thing? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any projects coming? Something you got some alpha for us? Any plans for a project?
oh man, the weirdos. It's kind of a weird project, but I see them potentially having like a kind of funny, weird narrative.
The
You should
weirdos.
check them out. I'll send you guys the link. They've been coming out for a while. They have a Genesis project behind their back that's pretty old. Uh, it's kind of weird art, but
Oh,
I
I
see
see
them
you.
having maybe a good run because I think people will like the art, and I think they have a good narrative, a memeable narrative. Um,
Yeah, they
that's
do.
one that I'm checking into.
Oh, but they're naked though.
They're not only there's gimps, there's some weird stuff,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think that it's kind of got the possibility to catch some eyes and for people to run with it. I mean, look at the Goop dudes, man. I mean, I can't hate on them. I applaud them. I made a really good play. I had over 100 of those at one point. Um, but 50% of them look the same, you know. But people were able
Yeah.
to push them by yelling "goop" in a spaces
Oh,
and tweeting
I
"goop."
saw that.
You
Goop, goop,
know,
goop, goop.
it's just like Frank. So it's like I'm trying to get better at
Yeah.
realizing that weird, dumb shit that people don't understand makes people FOMO, right? Like,
Mm.
so
Did you get in on Frank?
I did, and I should have because my dad's name is Frank. I looked at them. I was gonna sweep, and I just didn't. That's why I said I've kind of had a more rough past week. Like the past month before that, I was on like a high. Doing really well, made a ton of ETH. And in the past week or so, it's been a little different. I think it's because volume is down, and the game has changed a little bit. And I just haven't been dedicated to kind of figuring out how I can change my stuff, especially because I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I didn't really want to be in like a bunch of plays before then.
Mm.
So,
Where you going? If you
so
don't
I'm in
mind me
Kansas
asking.
City. I'm going to Arkansas. There's really good driving down there. I just got a Corvette, so I'm going down there to
I was
go
gonna
in.
ask about
Nice,
that because
dude.
I saw the Corvette, but I was like, it might just be a hat. So you
Oh
just
yeah,
bought that?
yeah. I got a new C8, man. It's awesome.
Ooh,
Bro, I love
nice, nice.
I know my cam went out, but I love Kansas City.
Yeah,
I got to go for the first time last year.
Oh cool.
I went to Messenger Coffee. It's like a
Yeah.
three-story coffee shop and stuff. I had so much fun there, man.
Hell yeah. Well, let me know in the DMs next time you come in. Possibly, I'd love to link up.
Yeah, I'll definitely be. Gutter makes fun of me for it, but I'm a big disc golfer, and one of
Oh
the
cool.
biggest locations for it is Emporia, Kansas, which is like an
Oh cool.
hour south of Kansas City.
Yeah, man. I suck at it, but that's something that I grew up doing in high school. We'd go and smoke and drink and just go play some disc golf.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, man. Well, we got a
so
question
no
from
minting.
Dickenza. He said no minting. I mean, that's no. I mean, I got the Galverse tomorrow. Definitely gonna mint that. Definitely gonna pick up on the secondary. I highly suggest you guys to look into them. If you can go and watch the spaces I did on NBA or with MBHQ, they have that
Is
recorded
that
on
like
their
public
YouTube.
spaces? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they upload it to their YouTube. So Metaverse HQ has their own YouTube. You could find, I think, from their Twitter page.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. And that's pretty much it. I know Chris's camera is a little. Chris, you okay over there, or what's up?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. We're about to close out anyway, so I figure I just want to,
Yeah.
you know.
Thank you so much for you guys having me.
No, thank you for stopping by, man. Got a round of applause for that one, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gutter.
Griffin.
Thank you.
Gutter, you're somebody that I've known from a long time in the space. I followed you ever since I had 100 followers back in the day in the Gutter Cat gang, and I love to see what you're doing, man. I'm happy for
Oh,
you.
thank you. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we've been following. See, I talked about this last when we talked to Jacob. Like, when I meet people IRL and I ask for their Twitter and we've already been following each other, that's a good. Like, it's pretty cool when that happens. But with you, I was following you before I was into Ninjalerts, before I was even watching Whales Wallets, because I never used to do that. Well, now it's a show that we do about Whales Wallet.
Yeah,
But it's
man.
pretty damn cool to finally meet you in real life after we've been following each other for so long, man. And
For
your
sure.
story is great because we both came in gang from day one. My
Yes,
first
sir.
ever mint was a gutter cat, just like you. So it's pretty dope, man. You're gonna get back into the gutter cats, man.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I
have
gotta
to,
check
you
in.
gotta.
No, you're right. I should go and sweep some clones. They're getting not much love right now after a big pump.
Nah.
So I think it's probably it might be a good play to hop into the gutter before the next one.
Yeah, they have their cycles, but me,
Of
I
course.
kind of I just collect and forget about it. I don't trade with. That's my long term play, so I just
Hey,
keep them.
man. I get it. Yeah, yeah. It's like your ape, basically, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my. I'm a gutter cat through and through. So yeah, really, thank you. Chris's camera
Yeah.
is off.
Thank you,
Oh,
Chris. It was
I'm
really
still
great to
I'm still
kind of
here,
meet
man.
you and chat with you, man. I look forward to getting to chat with you and meet you in the future in person. And same with you, Gutter,
Yes,
again.
yes. Come on the show anytime.
Yeah.
You have an open invitation. Pretty cool. You have a like your strategy is very good to learn from. Like now I know to look for floor breakers now before before I make my moves.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you for coming through, Chris. Do you have any other?
Yeah. I just want to say thank you again, Griffin, for coming on. Open invite, completely optional, of course, but we do a Twitter space, just kind of recap the week on Thursday.
Yeah.
And we just happen to have a bunch of Metaverse HQ guys this week, so it'd be fun if some of you can come out. We had Mitch and Jacob, which I'll send a reminder like
No, that'd be
tomorrow
great, man. I'd
about
love
it.
to. Those are some of my best friends from the space, and we all have a lot of fun. So it'd be great to chop it up with you guys and them.
Yeah, man. Basically, just gonna like hang out for an hour. So if you're free for that, awesome. Have a great trip to Arkansas. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Lots of mountains and stuff over there. I'm one state south of it, so I get to go sometimes. But yeah, thank you
Nice.
again, man, for your time and for your knowledge and just sharing with everybody here.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Gutter, Chris, Trevor, all of Ninjalerts. I think what you guys are doing in this space is really special, and I love to see it. So thanks again, and
Thank you.
I'll definitely be back. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, hit him
Yes,
with the air
sir.
horn on that one.
You're.
Nice.
All right,
And we
boys.
we will catch you guys next time. Peace out.